hands. 2 shots pierced the Sarajevo morning, and the world would never be the same again. The bullets rang through palaces and parliaments. Austria demanded vengeance. The dominoes began to fall. Across Europe, the youth marched forward, heads held high, hearts full of honor and blind hope. Alliances, long promised in treaties, now became chains, dragging nation after nation into the abyss. Like a machine set in motion, the gears of war turned. Time had run out for peace. Farewells were whispered with trembling lips. Few would return. Fewer unchanged. From Washington to Tokyo, the world watched as Europe descended into darkness. Cavalry met machine guns. Honor met Horror. An old world clashed with modern war. The war to end all wars had begun. It would be waged in blood-soaked ditches carved into the earth. All for an empire, all for pride, all for a spark that would engulf the world in fire. This was no battlefield. It was a graveyard before death arrived. Welcome to the trenches. Mud, rats, disease. The enemy wasn't always the man across the line. Sometimes it lived underfoot. A single whistle signaled death. A charge into metal rain. No man's land, a few hundred meters wide, 1,000 lives deep. Poison floated where bullets failed. It choked the sky and the lungs of the innocent. The lucky ones died quickly. The rest carried the war home inside them. This was the industrial age of killing. Steel replaced strategy. Numbers meant nothing. From every corner of the earth, they came, for empires that barely knew their names. The ocean offered no escape. Beneath the waves, another war raged in silence. For the first time, man made war in the sky, chasing death among the clouds. Verdun, where the soul of France bled for 10 endless months on the Somme, they promised victory. What came was slaughter. What the papers couldn't say, the letters did, in ink stained with silence. While men bled, women rose. They kept the world turning while it collapsed. Even the bravest broke. The mind can only survive so much horror. To the east, in snow and silence, another front bled, forgotten by the West, remembered by the dead. Across the Atlantic, America watched, hesitated, and waited for its moment. By 1917, the world was exhausted, and change was coming even in war. Humanity flickered, if only for a night. Years passed, lives ended, and yet, this was only the middle of the war. Black and white montage of war memorials, empty trenches, faded photos, poppies blowing in the wind. To the east, in snow and silence, another front bled, forgotten by the West, remembered by the dead. Across the Atlantic, America watched, hesitated, and waited for its moment. By 1917, the world was exhausted, and change was coming. Even in war, humanity flickered, if only for a night. Years passed, lives ended, and yet, this was only the middle of the war. A single intercepted message would tip the balance of the world. On April 6, 1917, America awakened for neutrality and chose a side. They called them doughboys, fresh, untested, and marching into fire. With boots still clean, they stepped into a war already soaked in blood. In Russia, the people overthrew the throne, but what replaced it was chaos. Man in exile returned, not to rebuild, but to burn down the old world. With one pen stroke, Russia vanished from the war, leaving the West alone. With Russia gone, Germany threw everything at the West. One last gamble. Old empires, once proud, now gasped their last breaths on blood-soaked soil. The Americans didn't just arrive. They surged. They fought 2 wars, one overseas, the other in the hearts of their own nation. At Below Wood, they earned their name, Devil Dogs. The war didn't just consume soldiers. It devoured humanity. It was now or never. Together, they pushed the enemy back, inch by inch. The line cracked, then crumbled, then fled. Germany collapsed from within. A new war began, inside its own borders. No victory parade, no speeches, just silence and signatures. At the 11th hour, the guns fell silent. The world exhaled, but would never be the same. Some danced, others wept. Peace had come, but the cost was staggering. This war ended with signatures,